Hello, I'm Josh.
And I'm Ken.
And this is Ken and Josh Go to the Movies. And today we are going to be reviewing the movie Gone Baby Gone.
This is a film directed by Ben Affleck and starring his brother Casey Affleck and Michelle Monaghan.
I'm going to be doing as much of the review as I can in a horrible fake Boston accent, just like many of the characters in this movie use. Okay, should I stop?
Yes, you should
Alright,
stop.
okay, never mind.
Okay, I'm just going to say right now that you should go and see this movie before you watch the review, because there's no way we can discuss this without spoiling the ending.
Absolutely, spoilers in this review. We'll give you a couple seconds right now.
The ending, so just go watch the movie and then come back.
Hit pause.
Go out. Actually, you're paused.
Now we're back!
Hey!
We're back reviewing the movie.
So, what do you think, Josh?
This was a really, really awful movie.
I think this is a really great movie.
No, and I'll explain why. I have got two main reasons why. First, the entire first 45 minutes to an hour is something that you could see on any Hallmark movie of the week, TV. It is. It's exactly the annoying stock characters, and okay, there's the child abduction and kind of molestation thing, right? Which so many of these movies, it's such a cliched thing at this point. As for movie subject, it's like you throw child abductions into a movie, and it's just like, okay, this is where you're supposed to cry because the child's being abducted. It's manipulative.
It's not really manipulative at all.
It is.
It's about much more than just an abduction. It's about morals. It's about what's right and what's wrong.
Barely. It's mostly about a child abduction. No.
Not really at all.
Yeah.
Because halfway through the movie, I'm spoiling it. So halfway through the movie, they find out the kid is supposedly dead, and so it just goes off in a completely different direction. And it's about like what's right and wrong in the situation. Should you implicate someone who's done something wrong, you think, because you know they're a bad person?
Well, you're getting into my second critique here. I'll just say you don't find out any of this stuff until a little bit after halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
The beginning of the movie is pretty much straight up procedural stuff you'd find on CSI.
I'll agree that Ben Affleck, for the first half of the movie, he feels like a TV director. It's always just right there, close up on the face, and it's just back and forth dialogue.
He's not a horrible director. He's just not a particularly creative director.
But again, at that halfway point where you think the child's fallen off a cliff and died, that's where it starts getting much more interestingly directed, I think.
Then, there's about a 15-minute section in the movie that's really interesting and really tight. It's about where you've got this other character comes in this other case. And suddenly you find out a lot more about Ed Harris's police detective character and some of the things that he's done. And it actually does kind of start getting interesting and tight.
Yeah. But
then it builds to the final twist, which is one of the stupidest movie twists in the history of movies. The police abducted her. The chief of police abducted the girl in the movie. That doesn't happen! That's stupid! That's so stupid!
But it's used as a way to set up this question of, this kid came from a horrible, horrible mother, and this guy, who's a great guy who lost his own son, Morgan Freeman, he takes the kid, and he adopts her, but he also kidnaps her, and he doesn't tell anyone, but Casey Affleck's character is faced with, do I take his daughter away from this good situation and give her back to this horrible parent, or do I let it be?
Do you know what? That's not moral complexity. That's you take the kid away from the person who abducted your child.
It's Morgan Freeman, and if anyone's going to abduct your child, you want it to be Morgan Freeman.
Okay. Look, if it was like Dennis Hopper who played the chief of police, would you be okay with him abducting your kid?
Just depends on which version of Dennis Hopper.
Any Dennis Hopper. Just because you cast Morgan Freeman as the child abductor doesn't make it okay for him to raise your child.
And it doesn't say it's a good thing that he abducted her.
And you know what her actual
It says that either situation is bad. That's what's interesting about it. It doesn't say him taking the kid was a good thing.
Then why is Michelle Monaghan so upset with him? Michelle Monaghan's character, who's completely pointless, by the way, has no real plot purpose, basically shows up at the end to say, Casey Affleck, I'm going to leave you because you decided to take the child away from Morgan Freeman, and I just can't look at you without seeing that horrible, terrible thing you did, so I'm leaving.
That's because it's trying to set up two sides of the argument. He thinks it's wrong to keep the kid there, and she thinks it's right.
It's stupid, and she has no point except to make him feel bad at the end.
I'll agree that she was kind of pointless, but I think
she wasn't even hot in this movie.
That final scene is pretty heartbreaking, where he realizes he might have made the wrong decision. He made the legal decision.
You know what? Okay, Amy Ryan plays I forget her name. I just keep calling her Crack Whore Mom. But Crack Whore Mom isn't that bad.
She's pretty horrible.
I mean, she's bad.
For a few minutes, she seems like she's upset about her kid being gone. Once she gets her kid back, she's just back to her same old self. She doesn't care about the kid. She barely says goodbye to her kid when she runs off to meet some guy.
She's a semi-negligent parent, okay? But that doesn't mean you take children... The script is my main problem with the movie. It's not Ben Affleck. It's not the fault of any of the actors, because they all do a pretty good job. Ed Harris especially.
I don't think you could argue with the acting was amazing.
The acting was great, yes.
Honestly.
But, it's just, Dennis Lehane is the writer of the book that this was inspired by, also the book that inspired Mystic River. I hated both movies. Maybe you just got an issue with him.
Maybe. I don't know. I really thought it was a good movie. Kind of heartbreaking.
No,
it's not one of those movies where it's sad.
It wasn't heartbreaking. It was stupid. Stupid. I've been watching The Wire a lot recently. So have you, Ken. And compared to The Wire, this is just complete and utter shit.
It's completely different.
It's not really. It's policemen solving mysteries and complexity, and it's just it's a watered down version of the same thing, and it's stupid.
No.
Yes.
So what did you give the movie?
I gave this movie one ridiculously stupid mustache. What other... Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully you've seen the movie. That was a ridiculous mustache.
It was.
I just gave it a big smiley face. So it made me smile.
With a ridiculous mustache on the smiley face?
Sure.
Maybe. That's how they would combine if already, so
yes.
Thanks for watching.
I'm Ken.
I'm Josh. This is Ken and Josh Go to the Movies.